Gwenevier Demarest. I am one of the member attorneys here at Demarest and Demarest LLC in Bellbrook, Ohio. I am an elder law attorney and I do a lot of long-term care, asset protection planning, and special needs planning for individuals.
How is long-term care planning different than estate planning?
We actually get this question a lot. Many people come in thinking that a last will and testament and powers of attorney is all they need for standard planning, which in many cases it is. But when I have a lot of clients thinking that, hey, I might need to go into a facility or I may need long term care, which is more common than I think many people think initially, they don't realize that those documents might not actually preserve their assets and help them with actually getting into facilities or getting on benefits that could help pay for those. So, asset protection planning, while it includes a lot of estate planning, it ultimately is much more in depth and helps clients be able to not only deal with things during their life, but also upon their passing.
How can people pay for long-term care?
Yeah, so there's three ways typically that we see people pay for long-term care in Ohio. That would be privately paying. So you are paying out of pocket. So those savings that you've built up all over your years are slowly dwindling down with based on the cost of long-term care. You also see many people choose to use a lot of long-term care insurance to help supplement private pay, which can be a great thing if it's the right fit for you. But then I also get a lot of clients, which is where I step in, is dealing with Ohio long term care Medicaid. And that's ultimately a tool that many clients will use to be able to pay for long term care. And when I'm talking about long term care, I'm talking about ultimately being in a nursing home facility, potentially being in assisted living, or even being at home and you're getting in home care services.
Will I lose all of my life savings to pay for a nursing home?
Sadly, there are a lot of things out there that warn of this. They say you're going to dwindle everything down. You have to get down to nothing to be able to go into a nursing home and use Ohio Medicaid. And that's just not the case. Ultimately, there are a lot of ways to preserve assets and preserve those assets that you have worked so hard to build up over your years. It's not just a we got to spend it down. And so that's where I get to come in and be able to get creative with families to be able to potentially protect those things that they've wanted to see get passed down through generations.
Can I keep my house and car if I apply for Medicaid?
Actually, yes. So many people hear the term Medicaid's going to take my home. And that's ultimately not the case. Actually, Medicaid counts certain resources against you and doesn't count other resources. Your home is one of them that's not considered a countable resource. Now, there are ways we want to preserve your home. Just because you can get onto Medicaid with having a home doesn't mean that it's practical to keep it or to preserve it for down the road. So we look at that to be able to help you out. But many people fear that I'm just going to lose my home, I'm going to lose my car. And that's just not always the case. And there are a lot of ways that we can help preserve those assets too.